oppression foretold in the prophecy of Daniel and John in Revelation, in Daniel 7:25, Revelation 13:5-7. So here there was an Inquisition 538 up to 1798, and we know 1798 that the deadly wound was received and it was healed. Now, in early writings, page 214, the people were wholly deceived. They thought that the popes and the priests were Christ's representative, when in fact they were representative of Satan. Those who bow down to worship them worship Satan. Those who bow down to the popes and its representative, the priest, it says there that they are bowing down to Satan. Now, there, after this beast here, there's another beast that came out, okay? And this time, it is a lamb-like beast, okay? Revelation 13:11-17. And I beheld another beast came up out of the earth. Okay, remember, in early prophecy, we read that the four beasts came out of the sea. That is water. That means that the remember that the water represents people. Now, this beast here came out of the earth. That means that this is not a heavily populated area that the beast rise up. Okay, so, and it had two horns like a lamb, and he spake like a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth. Okay, first beast before him, remember the beast which has the mouth of a lion, the leg of a bear, and the body of a leopard. That is how it looks like. That's the represents the papacy, and causes the earth which dwell therein to worship the first beast. So here, this lamb-like beast, you know, who looks like harmless, will what? Will speak like a dragon, and he will enforce everybody to worship the beast, you know, which is the leopard-like beast, or the, and whose deadly wound was healed. So here, this lamb-like beast will what? Will enforce everybody to worship the the papacy. Okay, and he doeth great things, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven in the sight of the earth, on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth that dwell on them on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying unto them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had the deadly wound and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So here, this lamb-like beast will make an image to the beast, and when it is being enforced by this lamb-like beast, well, what? Those who will not bow down or will follow, you know, the image of the beast will be killed. Okay, and he causeth both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand or in their forehead, that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark, the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So this is a lamb-like beast. It looks very harmless, but it will speak like a dragon. It will enforce a law forbidding the worship of the true God, and but it will what? Destroy, or will kill, or will persecute those who will not follow its laws. Okay, now in Great Controversy, page 441, and he had two horns like a lamb. The lamb horn indicate youthful innocence and gentleness, fitly representing the character of the United States when represented to the prophet as coming out of 1798. Now we remember 1798, that's the time when the beast received a deadly wound, which is the papacy. Now when papacy received a deadly wound, another beast came out, a harmless beast, which is a lamb-like beast, that he was the United States. What represents the two horns, okay? Freedom of religious faith was also granted to every man, permitted to worship God according to the dictates of its conscience. So here, Remember that America was established by the Protestants who left Europe during the Dark Ages, during the persecution, to escape the persecution of the papacy. And so they escaped here to obtain freedom of worship. Okay, republicanism and Protestantism became the fundamental principles of the nation. So these two horns here represent republicanism and Protestantism, meaning to say, Republican, it is a republic like the Philippine Republic, and Protestantism is Protestant, that you could worship God according to the dictates of his conscience. You have the freedom to worship God according to your conscience. So this is also represented as the separation of the church and the state. Okay, and let's continue reading. Great controversy, page. Let me get my. Just give me a minute. I'll get my battery. I am all low in battery. Okay. But what, okay, great controversy, page 443. But what is the image to the beast? So we know that there's a beast, lamb-like beast, it has two horns, but it will make an image. What is the image and how it is to be formed? The image is made by the two horned beast. Okay, this in the United States, an image to the beast. It is also called an image to the beast. Then to learn what is the image is like and how it is to be formed, we must study the characteristic of the beast, the papacy. So here, what is the image of the beast? It will have the characteristic of the papacy. What is the characteristic of the papacy? It persecutes Christians. It changed the times and the laws, and it speaks blasphemy against God. Okay, those are the three things that it has. Okay. Okay. In Great Controversy, page 443. So, okay, it says here, so apostasy in the church will prepare the way for the image of the beast. So if there is a church that is faithful and obeying the commands of God or the Bible, apostasy meaning to say, uh, apostasy meaning to say, um, do not follow the truth of the Bible anymore, then that is apostasy. Okay. And Great Controversy, page 443, it was apostasy that led the early church to seek the aid of the civil government, and this prepared the way for the development of papacy, the beast. Okay, so here it was apostasy. What is apostasy? First, before the true Christian were keeping the seventh day Sabbath. What happened? Why did the Roman Catholic Church keep Sunday? According to history, that Emperor Constantine, okay, he was going to war, and there were Christians in his soldiers, and while marching towards his enemy, he saw a sign in the sky, which has a cross, and he said, "If I'll win this war, I will become a Christian." So he won the war, and he became a Christian. But when he became a Christian, he still kept the first day of the week or Sunday, which is sun worship. And so that is when the early Christian changed their date of worship from the seventh day to the first day of the week. So that is apostasy. You reject the truth. In Great Controversy, page 443, when the early church became corrupted by departing from the simplicity of the gospel and accepting hidden rites and custom, so hidden rites, custom, like, those things are not written in the Bible, you become apostate. She lost her spirit of and power of God. And in order to control the conscience of the people, she sought the support of the secular power. So people are not going to, when you depart from the true followers of God will not going to follow. But what happened? Because the religion wants everybody to follow, it will seek the aid of the government. They will pass a law that whoever does not follow what the church says will result in punishment. The result was papacy, a church that controlled the power of the state and employ it to further its own ends, especially in punishing heresy. In order for the United States to form an image of the beast, the religious power must control the civil government. That authorities of the state will also be employed by the church to accomplish its own ends. So here, in order for these Protestant churches, okay, for the image, to be controlled, they have to pass a law forbidding uh, the word forbidding the worship of any other day except Sunday, and we know that Sunday law is going to be formed. Okay, remember that the remember that Sunday, according to the Bible and the Spirit prophecy, is the mark of the beast. Okay, that is a warning in Revelation 14. Okay, in Great Controversy, page 443, whenever the church has obtained secular power, she has employed it to punish this dissent from her doctrines. Protestant churches that have followed the steps of Rome by forming alliance with the world powers have manifested similar desire to restrict liberty of conscience. So here, there will be a time. Remember that most Protestant churches, except the Seventh Day Adventists, worship the first day of the week, and they will pass a law here in the United States that Sunday law will be enforced. That will be the image of the beast, and the mark of the beast is Sunday. Great Controversy, page 564. The Constitution of the United States guarantee liberty of conscience. Nothing is dearer and more fundamental. Pope Pius the Ninth, in his encyclical letter to August 15, 1854, said, the absurd and erroneous doctrine of ravings in defense of liberty of conscience is a most pestilential error, a pest of all others to be dreaded in this state. So here Pope was telling, that because we have the freedom to worship God, the Pope does not like it. Okay, remember the Pope is the beast. And the same Pope in his encyclical letter to December 8, 1864, anathemize those who assert the liberty of conscience and religious liberty. Also, all of such maintain that the church may not employ force. So here, the Pope does not like the freedom to worship because it wants to worship everybody to worship the first day of the week. That's the mark of the beast. And remember that the dragon gave them authority and seat and power. And whosoever received that mark, remember Revelation 14, according to the third angel's message, will receive the plagues or the wrath of God. In Great Controversy, page 578, it has been shown that the United States, in its power, represented by the beast with lamb-like horn, and that this prophecy will be fulfilled when the United States shall enforce Sunday observance, which Rome claims as the special acknowledgement of her supremacy. Remember, the Pope, the beast in Revelation 13, we read earlier, that the beast received a deadly wound, but it lived again. But in this homage to the papacy, the United States will not be alone. The influence of Rome in the countries that once acknowledged her dominion is far from being destroyed. So it will be enforced by the United States, not only here in the United States, but it will be worldwide. We have to prepare for that event because it's coming. And if we are not prepared, we'll be lost. Okay, so here the United States will do it, through Rome. Remember, Rome has infiltrated, has influenced all the, infiltrated all the religious organization and including all governments. So once Rome is in the driver's side, and drivers he it will start persecuting again. So we are given, a a peaceful period from 1798 up to the present, that we still have the freedom of worship. We know will be taken away from us, because before Satan will be punished by God, he will do all he can that all people in this world will be on his side. He wants everybody to receive the mark of the beast, but there will be few faithful ones or remnant that will resist that power. Okay, great controversy, page 382. It was by departure from the Lord and alliance with the heathen that the Jewish nation became a harlot, and Rome, corrupting herself in like manner, seeking the support of worldly powers, receives a like condemnation. So they become a harlot, because they Rome and the Jewish nation, because they want they seek the worldly powers. In Selected Messages, Volume 2, page 380, and all who will not bow down to the decree of the National Council and obey the national laws, to exalt the Sabbath instituted by the man of sin, to disregard God's holy day, will feel the oppressive power of Popery alone, but of the Protestant world, the image to the beast. So here, we know that the most of the people here in America are Protestants, but they keep Sunday, and they will they will pass a law that, to go along with the Roman Catholic Church, that we will start persecuting those who do not keep Sunday, and it will happen in a very short time. Great Controversy, page 295. No religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any officer or public trust under the United States. The Congress shall make no laws respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Under the Constitution, we have this law that nobody will force us to worship any other religion except what our conscience dictates. So a lot of people who are being persecuted all over the world comes to the United States for freedom, because this is the freest nation of the world. And the Bible, the prophecy says that this nation here shall speak like a dragon. People think, it is impossible that this nation shall speak like a dragon, because this is the freest nation of the world, and people who are persecuted are coming here to have um, freedom. But the same thing during the time of Noah, when Noah was told by God that there will be a flood, there will be a rain. People did not think that it will happen, because there was not even a rain during Noah's time. There was only a mist. But God says that it will happen, then it will happen, because prophecy has to be fulfilled. In Great Controversy, page 442, in the statement that the beast had with the two horns, causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, indicates the authority of this nation is to be exercised in enforcing some observance which shall be an act of homage to the papacy. So here, remember that most of the members of the Congress, most of the members of the United States Supreme Court are now Roman Catholics. So it won't be too long before they enforce. Okay. Great Controversy, page 588. The Protestant of the United States will be foremost in stretching their hands across the gulf to grasp hands with a hand of spiritualism, and they will reach over the abyss to clasp hands with the Roman power. And under the influence of this threefold union, this country will follow in the steps of Rome in trampling on the rights of the conscience, meaning rights of the conscience, meaning freedom of religion will be taken away from the people here. Great Controversy, page 440. What nation of the world was in rising in 1798 into power, giving promise of strength and greatness and attracting the attention of the world? The application of this symbol admits to no question. One nation, only one, meets the specification of this prophecy. It points unmistakably to to United States of America. Again and again, the thought, almost the exact words of the sacred writer, has been unconsciously employed by the orator and the historian in describing the rise of the growth of this nation. The beast was him coming out of the earth. According to the translation, the word here, render coming, literally signifies to grow or spring as a plant. And as we have seen, the nation must rise territory occupied councils in councils to writers and editors. Page 69. Foreign nations follow the example of the United States. Those he leads out, yet the same crisis will come upon our people in all parts of the world. So not only here in the United States, but it will go all throughout the world. Now, what does this signifies, this Revelation 13 in connection with Daniel 2? Okay, Daniel 2, remember the feet of part iron and part clay. Let's read it. Daniel 2:42 to 43, whereas thou sawest the feet of toes and part of potters and clay and part of iron. The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall not be of it the strength of iron. For as much as thou sawest that iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. The in manuscript 63, 1899, the mingling of the churchcraft in statecraft is represented by the iron and the clay. This union is weakening all the powers of the churches. This investing the church with the power of the state will bring evil result. Men have almost passed the point of God's forbearance. They have invested their strength in politics and have united in the papacy. So the spirit prophecy talks about this iron mixing with fire clay, that this will not what they're not going to mingle. This is the separation of the church and the state. And also the 10 kingdoms that shall not be divided represented the 10 toes, but it will speak like a dragon. Okay. Great controversy, page 448. But in the very act of enforcing a religious duty by secular power, the church will themselves form an image to the beast. Hence, the enforcement of Sunday keeping in the United States would be an enforcement of the worship of the beast and his image. Right here, that is the warning against the third angel's message. That those who worship the beast and his image will receive the wrath of God. In Great Controversy, page 445, when the leading churches of the United States, uniting upon such point of doctrine as held by them in common, shall influence the state. They'll influence the state to enforce their decrees and to sustain their institution. Then Protestant America will form an image to the Roman hierarchy, and the infliction of civil penalties upon dissenters will inevitably result. Page 445, the image to the beast represents a form of apostate Protestantism, which will be developed when the Protestant churches shall seek the aid of the civil power for the enforcement of their dogma. Letter 11, 1890, the Lord has shown me clearly that the image of the beast will be formed before probation closes. So before our probation closes in heaven, general close of probation, there will be a Sunday law here to test us whether we are loyal to God or not. For it is the great test of the people of God by which their eternal destiny will be decided. Your position is such a jumble of inconsistencies, but of few will be deceived. Okay, Revelation 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded. So there will be people who were beheaded or martyred for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, which had not worshipped the beast. Remember, the beast was Roman Catholic Church, neither his image, that is the Protestantism or Protestant religion, they receive this mark, that is the Sunday worship, and in their forehead or in their hand, and they live and reign with Christ for 1,000 years. Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and have the faith of Jesus. So there will be people who will continue to worship God, continue to worship the true God, and worship and continue to keep the true Sabbath of the Lord, which is the seventh day Sabbath. Revelation 12, verse 11. This is what will happen. And they overcome him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and six. If you look at this here, this is the tiara of the Pope. He used to wear this in his head. It has a name here, Vicarius Filii Dei. What does that Vicarius Filii Dei meaning? That is what is that? Remember, and horns.